What up guys, this is Sheikh, and today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I asked you guys on Twitter to tell me, and the topic was racism. There was various topics that you guys told me to talk about, but a lot of people said to talk about racism, so I'm like, why not talk about racism? Racism is probably one of the most disgusting things about us humans. We always separate people because of their race and where they're from or how they look. First of all, before I start, or I already started, but first of all I just want to say that these rants that I do are solely based on my opinions. So if you're gonna say something against me, there's completely no problem at all. You can say it, but don't attack me. Say it from your own perspective. But yeah, back to what I was talking about. So racism, I think it's one of the worst things a human can do is be racist towards each other. Because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We were all created by the same God, and we're all raised the same way. For the people who don't know what racism is, basically hatred towards a race or color is what racism is. Now, we might say that racism actually come to an end, or it's stopped, or is fading away, but if you think about it, it's actually going slower than possible. For example, America was once in a position where racism was so bad. Like, blacks literally had no rights. That's how bad America was on racism. These people were looking down on them. They were publicly allowed to do all this. You know, that was how deep racism was back then in America. But now, there is still racism here, but the people are sly with the way they do racist things. Like, they won't publicly announce it, but they'll do it in such a sneaky way that they can be racist, but they don't want to show the public that. You get me? Like, for example, if a white man kills a black guy out of hatred because he's black, that guy is racist. But publicly you won't tell him that, oh, he was black, that's why I killed him. Publicly he'd say, oh, he tried stealing, or he tried, I don't know, he tried taking my flower off my garden, you know, like these lame excuses. But back then in America, people publicly said it. If somebody killed a black guy, they're like, oh, I just killed him, you know, he's black, he didn't do his work. You know what I mean? That's the difference. But still, the problem that we have in the world is that people are still racist to each other. And the reason I use black as an example currently, because as we all know that recently in the news you can see that the cops are attacking like young black teenagers, going in the streets, choking them, this, that. It's all over the news, you know? That's why protests come out for Black Lives Matter. Now with that one, I think it's really dumb. It came so low to our society that we have to put out races out there that their lives matter. You know, we have to be like, Black Lives Matter, Muslim Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, Spanish Lives Matter. You know, why do we have to do that? We're just categorizing each person, each group. You know, we're supposed to all be together. Because if I cut myself right now, I'm gonna bleed the way you will bleed when you cut yourself. We're both the same exact thing. The only difference between us two is our physical features. But inside, we're all the same. But people don't see it like that. People wanna put in like, they wanna attack one race because of where they're from and stuff. And I feel like that's really dumb. Mistake me if I'm wrong, but in South Asia, the number one thing that they look really down on is dark-skinned and black people. Now, I might be wrong about this, but I've seen this many times. That if there was an African guy walking this direction, you and your mom is walking the same direction, and then you see this person, your mom would say, let's cross the street. Why would they say that? Isn't that kind of racist? You're just looking bad at him because of where he's from. In South Asia, that is a major problem. A lot of people actually do that. And that's something that you have to fix. I had a family member. This is a real life story. I had a family member who was kind of dark skinned compared to her sisters. She was having a difficult time getting married because she was dark skinned. Nothing else, just because she was dark skinned. And I heard her family members and other people, they were saying, oh, we're gonna have a hard time getting her married, she's this color, she's that color. Look how racist this is. Just because of her skin color, she's gonna have a difficult time. You know, that's where our generation came up to. That's where our society came up to. All about how you look, the way the skin color, the way your nose shape is. That's not exactly nose shape. I'm just using an example, but that's how we, as humans, that's how we look at stuff. Speaking of race, there's another problem, and a lot of people might agree with me, is that one big thing that separates people is language. So say I'm walking down, okay? I'm walking down a block, okay? And I'm walking down a Pakistani neighborhood. If I spoke Urdu, like the Pakistanis, they would put me on their side. They won't know that I'm Bengali. They will not know that. They'll just automatically think I'm Pakistani. Then they're gonna put me on their side. Oh, he's Pakistani, this and that. But if I walk down the same road, and then a few blocks down I see Bengalis, and I start speaking Bengali, the Bengalis are gonna take me and be like, oh, he's Bengali, oh, this, that. The reason that I'm talking about this is, I don't know if the example is perfect enough to explain what I'm trying to say, but back then when Bangladesh and Pakistan had a war, they were mostly differentiated because of the way they speak. If they spoke Bengali, they'd be Bengali. If they speak Urdu, they'll be Pakistani. So that's how they were separated. And that is what messes up. That's what I think is a huge thing in today's generation or today's society. People separate each other because of their language. I know I'm not putting in the right words because it's very difficult to explain, but language is a big barrier to people. You know, if I spoke Spanish, the Spanish community will welcome me, and I would be unwelcome by a lot of people. If I spoke French, the French community would welcome me, and I would be unwelcome by a lot of people, and I would be known as French. You get me? Like, that is a huge thing. I feel like language is such a barrier, and it ruins people. It gets people to separate themselves from other people, and that's pretty much the end of this rant. I was trying to end this rant quick because my last two rants were very long. They're about 15 minutes, 11 minutes, so I'm trying to end this short and smooth. But basically, I hope my point came across, is racism is very bad, and it's a huge problem in this world, is that when we're always racist to each other, it doesn't get us nowhere. You know, I feel like we gotta stop separating each other. You know, we're already separated between humans and animals. Why do we as humans have to separate each other from humans and humans? From Bengalis and Pakistanis, from Spanish and French, from Italians and Greeks. You know, why do we have to separate each other? Why can't we just live together in a normal life, you know? And I'm blessed for countries like America, the UK, and basic Australia. These countries, they're open to all kinds of people. Now if you go back home to third world countries, those are just their people. They don't have a good welcome for other kind of people. And if you go back to Bangladesh, all you'll see is Bengalis. You know what I mean? Like, but if you come to America, you're gonna see people from all races, and that's what actually makes equality much easier. Because if everyone was only in their own countries, this world would have the biggest problem with racism. You'll see Africans won't be able to go to one kind of country. You'll see Hispanics can't go to another side of the country. You'll see Greeks can't go to another side of the country. That's how racism is going to be. But I'm blessed to have, or we're blessed to have countries like America, UK, Australia, and different parts of the world where it's welcome for all races to come. But yeah, that's the end of this rant. Hope you guys enjoyed. Give this video a thumbs up and go Brani. I have a new video coming out this Wednesday, and I don't want to really tell you the full story, but it's not a prank, it's something else. But yeah, so stay tuned until next soon for another rant or vlog. Peace. And by the way, if you guys want this shirt, this is by LTD. I am partnered with them, so I will be wearing a lot of their products. So if you guys want any of these shirts, the full information will be down below where you can get it. They have different designs, like this one is like this, like I'm praying, and then they have like tasbih in my hand, and they have cool designs. So check it out. And yeah, I'm also gonna have my own signature shirts there, so look forward to that. So till next time for another new vlog, that's a wrap. I love you guys, and peace.